Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Drunk Tank. Get your fill.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
Was that our new song for this week?
That's the song of the week. Short and sweet. That's the way I like them.
Do you know who
How long was that?
That was 7.74 seconds.
I like it.
And who was it by?
That was Brad Saxon.
Brad Saxon. All right.
Thanks, Brad.
He has more letters in his name than there are seconds in his theme song.
So, hey, what's up? You're Gus.
I'm Gus, yes.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Joel.
And I am Felicity Huffman, star of Stage and Film.
Why did you pick Felicity Huffman?
I don't know. She just popped in. I wasn't ready.
That's weird.
That's a reference no one's going to get.
I just watched The Spanish Prisoner last night, starring Felicity Huffman. How bizarre is that?
Do you find often that you can figure out what is on TV? Like you have weird hunches about what's on TV or what's on the radio? Like you have a song in your head and you turn on the radio and sure enough the song is on the radio?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
They have you programmed.
ESP?
It's probably the fillings in your teeth.
No, it works with other
Broadcasting it
channels
at
too,
a
Gus.
level that you can't hear consciously.
I wish I could have the same thing happen with food.
By the way, I just want to make. I made a really bad ESPN joke there.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to go. I didn't want it to go unnoticed. I really tried.
We tried to gloss
we were
over
trying to
and-
help
and
you
continue,
along.
but you had to bring that joke.
I smiled so bright, and I was met with stares of like, please stop.
This is the no bad joke drunk tack.
Hey, drunk tack.
But it does make me wonder if, like, radio waves are all around us, right? And television waves, whatever waves.
Yeah.
They're all around us. And I wonder if when we listen to a song, and we like this song, and we listen to it a lot, on the radio specifically, if we can somehow feel that radio wave. You know what I mean? And so you get conditioned, like, listening to it. It's an unconscious thing, and we can't actually feel it, but there is something there. You know, that we're not telling. So when we get that feeling, sure enough, you turn on the radio and there's the goddamn song.
Man,
I feel like
where is your tinfoil hat?
I feel
Jesus
like this turned into a podcast by Art Bell.
I'm a little worried as to what subject this is going to be filed under now.
You sound like the cab driver who I got a ride from last
Oh,
night.
Gus,
Man.
you got to tell your cab driver story.
That guy
It's
was
fantastic.
crazy.
Have you heard the story, Bernie?
It's like when the bums are always thinking they want you to stab them. You know how you get that feeling?
The cab. I'm not going to talk too much about my cab driver yesterday, but I'll say this much: he claimed that he had the light inside of him, and he started looking at me in the rearview mirror. He was looking at me, saying he could put the light in me just by looking at me with the light in his eyes.
And also,
Oh man!
Like I almost opened the cab door and just ran. At that
Is there
point.
anything a cab driver could offer to put inside you that you would consider for a little bit, like even like delicious cherry lollipop? I mean, it's like
Maybe
nothing.
Maybe a warm chocolate chip cookie, and that's about as far as I'll go.
hey, Gus, why don't you put the light into this podcast and pick a first topic? A good one.
Oh, look at you! We're having fun here.
No.
I want to make a recommendation based on this conversation. Though.
Okay.
There's a dude on. We'll link it in the links, and because I have to look him up. But his name is like Bill Barr or something like that. He's a stand-up comedian. He's one of the DVDs that's available on Netflix streaming, and he has an awesome routine about how crazy people just dominate. Like the cab driver. What did you tell? Did you tell the cab driver shut the fuck up? No, you probably just
I
sat
didn't.
there.
I just sat there
Yeah,
scared.
Yeah, but Gus is a pansy. He's not going to say anything to anybody ever.
And that's exactly right. Like we've all
Well, that's
been.
because they hold the card, I'm going to stab you in the forehead if I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, and normal people just sit there. Like, you go to the post office, and there's 30 people in the post office, and one fucking lunatic, and nobody will throw the lunatic out or tell the lunatic to shut up.
I got no problem telling that lunatic to
insane
shut
person
up.
has nothing to lose. I went to the post office down the street from our office a couple months ago, and I was waiting in line to mail something off for someone on the website, and an insane person walked into the post office, started screaming and walking around and like throwing shit off the counters, and eventually like one of the postal employees from the back came out and was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like screaming still. I couldn't understand what he was saying. Then she's like, "Do you want crackers?" Then she like went into the back and got like a little pack of peanut butter crackers, like, "Here you go." And then like he took the crackers and like just still like insane, like walked out the front door of the post office.
I was
like somehow
really hungry.
Like she understood the craziness enough to know to give him crackers. That's what he was in there for.
Similarly, the last time I went to that post office, it was a while ago, admittedly, but an old man got mad and stormed out because he tried to mail a 2x4. With no packaging or anything. He just wanted them to stick the stamp on the 2x4, and he didn't want them to write the address on the 2x4, and she was trying to explain to him that they couldn't put a sticker on the 2x4 because it wouldn't stick, and the old man was just like, "God damn it," and ran out with his 2x4
Was that
intact.
the guy from the website about what you can mail and what you can't mail?
No, that was old as hell, but
No, I put that on my journal recently.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great website.
Maybe he was
I'll make sure
doing
to
like
link that.
performance art.
I don't think so. He was like 70.
Was he trying to mail the 2x4 like back to the forest or something?
I don't know where it was going.
Some kind of statement that he was trying to make.
He was really pissed off.
Sending
though.
it to Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
God damn it.
Zing.
He's got a match tomorrow. In Piscataway. He needs this.
He can't take on the Junkyard Dog without it.
Is Hacksaw Jim Duggan still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, really? Wow.
Is anyone going to get that reference?
Hacksaw,
Oh,
who
come
wouldn't
on.
get
Who
Hacksaw,
wouldn't get
Jim,
Hacksaw
Duggan?
Jim Duggan?
Oh, I'll make sure to put it in the link dump just in case.
I mean, Gus went for the 2x4, which is like, usually you make the Hacksaw reference with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. How did Hacksaw Jim Duggan get his name? Anybody?
I have
Anybody?
no idea.
He cut an army jeep in half with a hacksaw.
Wow.
Seriously?
That's how he got the name.
Do you know why he did that?
I don't know. Probably to get the really cool name.
Probably a bet.
Probably to get the crackers.
I think he wanted people to call him Jeep Cutter, but they just wouldn't, they wouldn't go for it.
There's a lot of downtime in the military.
Wow.
You got to come up with stuff to entertain yourself.
I don't think he was in the military cutting military jeeps in half. I think it was a promotional thing.
That's not a government issue 2x4 that he has?
In fact, I'll have to look it up now because now I want to know if I embellished and added the military part of it. But he cut some kind of vehicle in half with a hacksaw, and
All right.
it wasn't a bicycle.
Wow.
Since we're asking if Hacksaw Jim Duggan died, I got to kind of clarify something because we thought for sure that David Carradine last week or just 3 days ago had killed himself, and now it looks like there was foul play involved.
Looks like it was ninjas.
We were the
according
first
his
one to
lawyer.
bring up that question, I believe, right?
If there
we
was-
were the first ones, I believe, at this podcast who said, "Oh, it could probably murder."
We started the investigation.
We were the first one.
Essentially.
I'm pretty sure the police at the scene might have asked that question.
No, it
you
was
think
us.
that maybe they were listening to the podcast and they were like, maybe this isn't so cut and dry after
This
all.
podcast is global.
You can feel the inflated
maybe
self-worth.
Maybe they sensed it, just like the radio frequencies, and people like you think you hear the song and everything, just like what you were talking about. They sensed us on the internet talking about it, and they knew to look for it.
Somewhere Alex Jones is getting a boner right now.
The black helicopters took our message to them.
somewhere.
Now you got to link Alex Jones because nobody in the world is going to know who that is.
People know who Alex Jones is.
Do they really?
See, we get biased in Austin that we think other people don't know who Alex Jones is because he started on Austin Access Cable. We knew he was crazy, so we kept him on Access Cable.
He might have been my cab driver yesterday.
Alex Jones, please. Remember those days, guys?
Yeah.
I have a reptilian elite overlord theory that I want to put inside of you, Gus.
The cab driver was actually listening to Alex Jones on the radio.
I totally believe it.
I didn't, but like I got into the cab and I was like,
Maybe
this
that's
sounds vaguely familiar. What is this?
Maybe that's
and I
what
closed the
turned
door
him
and I was
crazy.
like, oh,
Maybe
God.
we've gone full circle to the theory you were talking about the song. It all makes sense.
Yeah, or also the theory that we can't shut up crazy people. You know, they dominate the culture somehow. You get one dude on the radio and people are like, you can't turn the channel.
So,
I'm scared of him.
talk some more, Joel.
Stab me through the radio.
And if you sign up for the Alex Jones podcast, we'll mail you a 2x4. This is like a totally circular podcast today.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
It was all planned.
So I know we have some stuff we actually do want to talk. I know we're off on a bunch of tangents, but I know there are a few things we want to talk about this week.
Can I finish my David Carradine thought real quick?
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm
Or
sorry.
as Joel said last week, David Carotene 1,000 times, which I think is a mineral that you take.
Don't you get that?
Skin?
Don't you get that from carrots? Isn't it like a
I was
vitamin?
talking about somebody completely different.
Anyway,
Well, I was watching a film with Kerry Russell, who I love, and Nathan Fillion, who I like a lot. And it was called Waitress. It was like some film that went to Sundance a few years ago.
Gonna make a pie. Gonna make a pie. I hate that fucking
it has-
movie so much.
It has Cheryl Hines in it, too. She
Yeah.
is like one of the hottest people on
My
the planet.
wife loves that movie, and she makes me watch it sometimes, and the fucking songs in it are atrocious.
well, you should hear the rest of the story.
This
Yeah.
is so... The woman, the other waitress, since you've seen it, the other waitress, the younger waitress...
Dead.
She's dead. She is the director.
Yeah.
Right? And so at the end of the credits, they had this in loving memory, or right before the credits, in loving memory of this woman. And I thought, isn't that the director? And wasn't the director in the movie? She's a young woman, like 35. Same kind of thing as what happened with, well, not same kind of
Not
thing. as what
nothing at
happened
all.
with David Carradine. But what happened was she hung herself. They found her in her New York apartment and hung herself. And then it came out a week later that some guy who was working in the building, she caught him stealing something, and he killed her and hung her. And they would have never known. They thought she killed herself until it came out the fact that this guy killed her.
Yeah, he
Isn't
was
that crazy?
apparently some kind of a weird stalker and had been bothering her, and he came in and killed her. Yeah.
Well,
And hung her in the
the
bathroom.
story I read was that she found him getting something out of her purse and threatened to call the police. But this is all what he says, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a confession on his part. But,
Yeah.
man, what a crazy story. So,
Yeah, isn't that nuts, though? She's fucking totally dead.
yeah, pretty nuts, man.
How did you like Waitress?
And don't disparage the movie. The movie's a great movie.
You think so?
I thought there were some parts of it that was kind of odd choices, especially with music. But I thought it was a great movie.
The movie's okay for a chick movie, but the music is horrible.
I'm
The Gonna Make those Gonna Make a Pie songs are horrible.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Come on.
I thought she-
But any movie with Cheryl Hines is fine by me.
Any movie with Kerry Russell is fine with me.
Cheryl Hines is hot.
What is it with Cheryl Hines?
I don't know, man. I just saw her in something the other day too, and she was so hot in it. What was it I saw her in, Bernie?
I don't know. In a
It
cab
wasn't.
with
It wasn't
Gus?
Waitress. Damn it! Now I'm going to be off.
She's the wife from the Larry David show.
Well,
Yeah.
that's where most people know her.
That's why she's so hot to you. She on TV, she's with Larry David. So you think, oh,
Got a shot.
yeah, anyone's got a shot if she's with Larry David.
She puts up with a crazy person
Yeah.
while he tries to mail 2x4s. All right, Gus, I'm done with my David Carradine.
Okay, Joel.
Clarification.
I know Jeff was very enthusiastic about talking about this topic before we started, so I thought I'd bring it up right away. I know you're very excited for Left 4 Dead 2, aren't you, Jeff?
Those motherfuckers. I am excited about Left 4 Dead 2.
Who's the motherfucker you talking about? Are you making fun of Valve?
No. I love Valve. I'm making fun of, and I'm not making fun of, I'm angry at the people that created the anti-Left 4 Dead 2 petition and then went so far as to recycle the fucking Hitler joke in their favor. They can't even be original, as
What's
you
the
pointed
Hitler
out.
joke?
That video with like Hitler in the room talking to people.
Yeah, and they overdub it?
Yeah, and they overdub it.
Or they change the subtitles?
And they can't even be original in their fucking complaints. They're complaining that Left 4 Dead 2 is coming out too soon. And I mean, what is? It's a great game. It's probably in the top 3 or 4 of everybody's 360
Coming
games.
out too soon. Can any game come out
It's come
too
out
soon?
a year after the first one. I can't wait for it to come out because I played hours and hours. Everybody in this room probably played at least 100 hours of that game, maybe a lot more.
Yeah.
And we played it till we did it to death, and there's nothing left to play in it. I cannot wait to get a new version of
I've
Left
never
4
heard
Dead.
the complaint before of it's coming
They're
out too soon.
They're upset that it's coming out too soon. They feel like because it's only a year after the original Left 4 Dead came out, that everything in that game should have been released as DLC, paid DLC. What they don't realize is if Valve did that, you would spend far more than $60 on the DLC to get the fucking DLC.
Well,
I don't know about
It's an
that.
entire.
I don't know.
I've
It's
read the-
5 new campaigns.
I haven't read the thread. Are they just saying it should be free or?
They're saying it should have been released as DLC.
Well, what do you think?
On Xbox Live.
Let me just play devil's advocate here and ask you a question. What do you think is a preferable model? This, like, let's call it the EA model, where you put out a different version of the game every year. Like, this would be Left 4 Dead 2010, I guess, or 2009. And then, or it would be 2010 in the EA model. Or the Fallout 3 model, where they put out the game, and then every month or so, they have a $15 to $20 DLC. So you go through 3 of those DLCs, you're at $45 to $60.
Yeah, right. I personally don't care. Like, Epic has done the same thing with Gears, and then they're bundling all of their 5 DLC packs together in like a $60 retail disc. It's coming out this summer. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's the same thing.
Well, here's the
But
other thing. I mean, is there going to be DLC for this next release? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
they
you
say
pay,
that-
you pay the $50 for the disc, and then
What
hopefully
they're-
get some DLC with that.
What their take on it was, they said that they had to get Left 4 Dead out, and they were happy with it, but there were things that they wanted to do better, like they created the new AI director, and they wanted to find ways to improve the game, and now they're happy with Left 4 Dead 2, and then that game will have a longer shelf life, and they'll release DLC and support DLC for that game.
Yeah, the
which is
DLC
totally fine.
Wait, but Valve is saying they don't like their first game?
No, they weren't saying they weren't. They're just saying that there are things they wanted to improve on it. They just didn't have time to do. And now that they've been able to go back and do those things, now that Left 4 Dead is like the game that they're super happy with, and that they don't feel a need to update that.
Okay.
Yeah, like this will be the more stable platform that they're
Yeah.
going to build upon with DLC and further pushing stuff out. And I'm totally cool with that. It seems like, I don't know, it seems, and all the speculation, both on the part of the people making the petition and on our part, is based on a fucking minute-long trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a 1:17 long trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like, but dude, I got $120 worth of enjoyment out of Left 4 Dead. So the idea that I can pay another $60 and have all new maps, all new characters, 2 new gameplay modes, all out the gate, it sounds awesome. I don't know why anybody would complain about that. I mean, would they prefer the converse where you sit around for years with no information on when Half-Life 2 Episode 3 is coming
Or
out?
like
you just wait and
or like
you
the
get a
wait between-
screenshot once a year?
Or like the wait between Dead Rising and Dead Rising 2, where it's just like radio silence and nothing, and then years later, you hear that
Suddenly there's a
the
trailer.
sequel's in production.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Valve doesn't make bad games anyway. When was the last time anybody played a Valve game that wasn't amazing? Gus is thinking pretty hard there.
Trying to think of one.
You're
Did you,
not
guys,
gonna...
did you guys like Team Fortress 2?
I love
Absolutely.
Team Fortress 2.
Absolutely.
See, and that would be an example of a game that Valve set their own model of updating the hell out of it. And honestly, kind of thumbing their nose a little bit at the rest of the industry of look at all we're doing for Team Fortress 2 and putting this stuff out. So there's a little bit here of digging their own grave. I mean, if there is you guys recognize this too. There's certainly a segment of the audience that's online that if you pander to this audience, it only goes so far, and then they turn on you, and they do shit like this. They make 20,000 member groups that say "fuck you, we hate you" for making
Fuck
stuff
it.
that we like, basically.
Last time I checked, there were 18,500 people on it that signed that retarded petition. And I guarantee you, like 18,450 of them are going to buy the game 2 days after it comes out, when everybody else in the world is playing it, calling it the best thing since
anyone in
sliced
the
bread.
history of mankind ever read a petition on the internet and went, "Oh my, I'm changing"?
Yeah, that's a great
I-
question.
no, I
When
mean,
is an
right? I mean,
I was
over
about to
any-
say, I hope they don't get the magic number of signatures they need to stop
when
this.
is an online petition?
Can we make an online petition about online petitions?
We should make an online petition to stop online petitions.
Yeah, no,
That's what- right.
It's a great point. When is an online petition
Has
ever worked?
anyone ever been? Well, wow, look at all these people who want. No.
Well,
Yeah.
I think maybe it happened and they made the Firefly movie, and that's the last time anyone's
Yeah,
ever
well, there
listened
you
to an
go.
online petition.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true. The thing that works and always works is voting with your wallet. The reason why they made a Firefly movie is because after the show was
Right.
canceled, guess what? People bought the DVDs. And that was a big surprise.
Right.
Same reason Family Guy came back
when
after
they,
it got canceled.
When we were on Angel and they shut down Angel, they had people with picketing signs in front of the studio going,
they had-
no, bring back. Of course, they went to the wrong studio. They were picketing the wrong studio.
For Angel, I remember this because I was a huge Angel fan. They had people that had billboards to save Angel, like in front of the studio, and they had people that they had those panel trucks that
wrong.
drove up and down the street. Maybe it was wrong studio,
was
whatever.
wrong studio.
But they hired, like Save Angel signs driving up and down the street on panel trucks.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
So the lesson to learn here is that if people don't want this to happen with Left 4 Dead 2,
Don't buy it.
don't buy the game.
And when Gus and Bernie and Joel and I are having the best time of our lives playing Left 4 Dead 2, you can sit at home and play Left 4 Dead 1 with that 8 people left that
It's
are
gonna
playing
be
it.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna. Honestly, we don't want to play with you.
Can't wait.
So I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to be playing Left 4 Dead 2 in the back of my new Maybach.
When I look at sites like tweetingtoohard.com, which are just a collection of all the most self-important tweets of the day,
That site is brilliant, by the way.
I have a,
That's
I
the best
have
thing to
trouble.
come out of Twitter.
It is the best thing to come out of Twitter. I have trouble going back to Twitter now and posting and taking it seriously just because I just feel like there's nothing to say on Twitter. You know what I mean? You just have to either be this idiot and say nothing and be banal, or be self-promoting. You only have one of two ways to go.
It's like you said, it's like going to a party and in a crowded room and just everyone's shouting what they're thinking at the top of their lungs and no one's listening to anybody else.
Nobody else. And they're all facing the most popular person. They're all
Right.
facing the most famous person in the
Right.
room.
I gotta say, I'm proud of you. You told me you were done with Twitter, and I didn't believe you. But when I was on vacation, I don't have Twitter, but Griffin does, my wife, and I logged into her Twitter to see if you'd posted, and you hadn't posted in over a week. I thought that was pretty good of you. That's awesome.
I sometimes I will sit there and look at that little white square and go, I should probably put something in there, but I just can't. It all feels so to me, you know? It's a really weird feeling being on Twitter now.
Speaking of Twitter, didn't you just make an update yesterday about the new series?
On Twitter?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have a new series kicking off.
Yes, we put out the trailer for...
Nice segue.
That was the weirdest segue.
that was really.
I was hoping you would bite it on your own and you would take off, but
No.
You didn't take off running.
It was such a weird segue to our own content that I thought, I'm just going to let this one hang.
Yeah, we
See
hate
where it gets
these
us going.
self-important posts. Anyways, let's talk about our product now.
Well, that's how Joel wanted us to Twitter saying we were going to release the trailer yesterday, and we got into a tip about it yesterday.
Jeff,
We're like,
I'm going to make you a deal.
Okay.
I'm going to take my Twitter account, and I want you to make a Twitter account, and I'm just going to talk to you over Twitter. I'm not going to say anything to you.
we'll just communicate via Twitter.
That you and I, that's it. Like if we
Man.
go to lunch, it's just, what are you having? I'm going to eat the steak sandwich, back
All
and
right.
forth. Just
I'm
like
feeling
that.
there's gonna be. a
I'll
lot
do
of-
it just for the joke, but that'll be the only way I'll sign up for Twitter.
Yeah, I still haven't signed up for Facebook. I should probably do that at some point.
your face is a book.
No.
My face is a book. Okay, so we put out the trailer for Red vs. Blue Recreation.
So is it recreation or recreation?
It is recreation.
Recreation.
Recreation. That's what I call it, at least. But we like to we like to use the titles that have double meaning. Like for Reconstruction, it had to do with the, Civil War period or the war period after the Covenant War that happens in the actual Halo game. And then also has a double meaning of being, the reconstruction of the meta and the alpha AI, which none of this is going to make any sense to you if you haven't seen Red versus Blue Reconstruction. But
You could say it was a triple
I'll
meaning
make-
because it also had to do with the recreation of the teams because they were all split up.
the reconstruction of the teams.
Reconstruction of the teams, yeah.
And there's a little bit of those similar themes in recreation as well, with some of the stuff that's going on. I mean, recreation and reconstruction are kind of similar words in definition, but it has that additional definition of being recreation, which is just fun and goofy, and which is definitely the way we're approaching it this
Would
summer.
you say that's the overall tone of the season? Or
I
the
mean-
series, I guess I should call it.
I think people get a little confused sometimes whenever we interject any kind of plot elements into Red versus Blue. They react to tonal shifts as if it's like, oh, this is either serious or funny, and clearly Reconstruction was both funny and had a plot. I mean, some of the best jokes we've ever done were in Reconstruction.
I'd like to think so.
Like Caboose with the grenade and all that. I mean, those are great jokes.
Yeah.
And so this is just like, I don't want people to be confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want people to like run with it or make an online petition of 30,000 people.
You've made a rather ambitious move with Recreation, which is to give it a release time. On every Monday, it is, according to the
Monday
trailer,
at
9 p.m. Monday, which
scares me.
it scares me a little bit too.
9 p.m. Central. Why does that scare you?
It scares me from a web server perspective. Serving the content at a concentrated, focused point.
Well, we still have the sponsor deflection. A large number of viewers are sponsors of the site, and we love them for it. And they'll watch it earlier because they'll watch it. They'll have the ability to watch the show as soon as it goes online, and then we push it live at 9 o'clock. But we thought it was fun. I mean, it's just. The environment when we started Red vs. Blue was a lot different than where the web is today. I mean, now there's so much friggin' noise. There are series that I didn't even know existed. I was on Blip yesterday, and I saw some live action series that has 28 episodes. I'm like, how can I have never heard? This is what I do. How can I have never heard of this thing? And it's just like, we kind of established we do Red vs. Blue in the summer, and to carve out some of the just general entertainment noise that's out there from TV and whatnot. And now it's just like, want to make sure that people know it. Monday at 9 o'clock, they can come watch a new Red vs. Blue.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, when Leno starts up this fall,
Fuck Leno.
He won't eat into our audience.
I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be just fine.
I hope so.
I don't think we have much crossover between Red vs. Blue and Leno.
I don't know. We got a lot of Kevin Eubanks fans on the site.
What do you think most people on the internet? What do you think they favor? Jimmy Fallon?
No.
No?
Jimmy Fallon
over Leno, right? Yes.
Over Leno?
Well,
over Conan?
Jimmy Fallon's like kind of failing miserably, isn't he?
I wouldn't say so at all. He does a lot of tech stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything I've read is that his show's a bomb and that there's no ratings for it.
Yikes!
And that it's embarrassing.
I think that's the thing. If you're appealing to a tech audience,
if you're appealing to that article,
I'll go find it. Apparently, the show is bad and he should feel bad.
If you're on TV and you're trying to appeal to a tech audience, isn't that kind of? I mean, the tech audience is going to be online.
They're going to be on G4.
Yeah, they're going to be on.
They're going to be on WoW. That's where they're going to be.
They're all drooling over Olivia Munn right now.
Why don't they stream like their TV shows through WoW? I'm sure you can get a plug-in to do that.
I'm sure you can. Well, there was a browser,
like the Rogue browser.
That Rogue browser, yeah, that you could put overlaid on WoW. But I mean, WoW's not. It's not autopilot, at least not the way I ever played it. I mean, you actually are engaged in it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Lots of times you can coast through it.
You also can have a TV on while you have your computer on. I mean, a lot of people have both.
Yeah, but you don't want to look away from the screen while you're ignoring what's going on the screen. Come on.
Right.
Speaking of WoW, is WoW still kind of weh for Gus, right?
I haven't logged in probably a week at this point.
How do you feel about that?
Do you get a chip for that?
That's funny. I was
Give
playing
me my fucking guild back.
I was playing Fuel the other day, and they did one of those WoW type things where I was in a loading screen that said, "Remember to get up for 15 minutes every hour and walk away. Games aren't everything, you know." I was like,
Did they really?
They did say that. Yeah.
Wow. What's the stupidest thing? Is that the dumbest thing you've ever seen?
It was pretty.
In the game?
It was up there. Yeah.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen in the game was we got a copy of The Hobbit, which was a role playing game, and this was like the late '90s. And in the game, it said, it had like a note from the developer saying, at the time when this game is set, wolves are considered enemies. We had not reached the point culturally where we realized that wolves are a very sophisticated pack animal with relationships with one another. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Speaking of that, have you ever seen that? You were watching it the other day, the video of that wolf MMO?
Oh, yeah!
Where you like walk around and try to make packs and piss on stuff?
What?
Yeah, you catch scents and all that. You're a wolf.
Is that like a furry game?
No, it's like
how dare you?
It's like a free-to-play MMO, and
what's it called?
Wolf Life Adventures. I don't know. I'll find it. I'll put it in the link dump.
That sounds awesome.
But the video is great.
The video is great.
It's a bunch of young kids like staring at a screen, like following scent trails and pissing on rocks and communicating through howling.
It's like a Thursday for you and I.
Yeah.
You make people go feral. These poor kids are they're in their computer room just like howling. It's terrible. The promotional video is the funny part of it, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I had to check that out. Speaking of you and I, I'm getting creeped out by like the symmetry in our lives.
Yeah, it's really unsettling.
Who are you talking to,
Gus? Gus and I are obviously are like best friends, and we have been for a long time. But we have this awesome friendship where we never talk or communicate.
Outside of the office, of course.
Outside of the
We
office,
sit
I
right
have
next to
no
each other.
desire to see Gus after 5:30 p.m. and no desire to see him on the weekend or ever. But we we get to work at 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning, you 10 o'clock, and we have a conversation
lucky.
that's like, what did you do last night? And we invariably did the same thing with no communication. I found out right now, Gus and I are both independently watching Season 6 of South Park right now.
And we both independently started from Season 9, have been working our way backwards at almost the exact same time.
Yeah, the exact same pace. We're like an episode off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
We also both started drinking gin out of the blue at the same time. Same brand
we
of
switched
gin.
from drinking the same brand of vodka to switching the same brand of
to
gin.
Hendrick's Gin without talking about it, and we just discovered it, post fact. And that happens at least once a week, and it's starting to fucking bother
And
me.
we both at the same time, like last week or 2 weeks ago, decided we were drinking too much and wanted to try to dry out for a couple days.
Yeah, that was a little while ago because we made comics about it, but and we compared ourselves to each other.
So basically, our cycles are in sync. Is what we're
Yeah,
getting at
Gus
here.
and I
So
have,
basically,
Gus and I
you
have
guys
our guy periods are insane.
We're totally lined up.
It's really bizarre though. I'll be like, I just watched Primer, and Gus will be like, "That's weird. I watched it last week." It's all forms of entertainment are. It's really kind of weird,
Except for video games.
except for video games. We don't intersect on video games very often because you always just play fucking WoW or Fallout.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, speaking of which, Fallout new expansion pack comes out like in 2 weeks.
So
Bethesda.
you're saying Gus is your best friend?
I guess I'm saying that it's like yeah. I guess I'm saying that, but I just say that it's weird that we do the same things without ever
What?
talking about it.
My feelings are hurt.
And soon we'll be neighbors as well.
Yeah, Gus is moving 3 blocks from you. You move in. Well, you don't move in, but you like seal the deal next week, right?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You get a fruit basket.
I can't wait.
What was the deal with the sound drivers you noticed today?
I reclaimed one of the PCs and was reinstalling Windows on it over at my desk, and the sound card wasn't working. So I decided to download, the sound card drivers for it, and I went to the creative websites, Creative Labs, something sound card. Anyway, the Windows drivers for it were 68 megabytes. So I click on the download and it's 66 megabytes. Download now. The progress bar starts going. I'm looking at the rest of the page, and I realize that the Linux sound card drivers were 68 kilobytes. I'm wondering, what the fuck is going on that my Windows drivers are 66 megabytes for sound?
Who knows?
It's crazy.
What the fuck? It seems like that's indicative of the whole problem.
Were there Mac drivers? Could you see how big
No,
the
there
Mac
were
drivers were?
there were no Mac drivers.
Well, and also, what sound does a Linux machine make? I mean, they don't need libraries of sounds. It's just like beep or not beep.
Well, it's not like there's libraries of sounds built into the driver, though. It just tells the operating system how to interface with the hardware.
Yeah, it tells it when to beep or not beep, basically. I mean, what does Linux do? Can you game on Linux?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
What do you play on Linux?
I don't play anything on Linux. I think people who play games on Linux are idiots.
Really?
Yeah.
Well-
There's no reason for it.
I don't know if they're morons, but they're definitely elitist.
They're elitist jerks.
There you go. I agree with that.
It definitely has its uses, and it's not on the desktop.
Hey, Gus, for some reason I can't hit the website right now. Do you know why that is? Couldn't be because you insulted a bunch of people using Linux.
The people who can't take the
Gus has
website down.
angered the Ubuntu community.
The last dude that you want to piss off on the internet is the dude using Linux and who's upset about the Left 4 Dead 2 release.
We probably already lost that guy. So.
You know that dude is like, okay, let's turn off redversusblue.com now.
Yeah, we're getting right into the perfect storm of internet anger.
It is. Does anyone want to talk about how Babylon 5 sucked? And really piss that guy off.
Let's go piss some people off in 4chan while we're at it next.
I will say today, though, the highlight of my day today was when you're working on a commercial project that we're under NDA for, so we can't talk about it, but you were working on a commercial project today, and Gus, you got confused about it, and Gus asked you if you were working on it in Final Cut or
I didn't-
Premiere,
I didn't
and you
know.
didn't know.
I answered wrong.
Joel's like,
I was
I think it's in
how come I
Premiere. And I was like, no, Joel, you're doing that in Final Cut.
can't even keep him straight at this point.
And
Can't
that was
even
pretty
keep him
funny.
straight at this point.
But to be fair, you are working on 4 projects over 2 environments, and that's got to be, a lot to keep track of.
Well, I'd like to point out that a lot is a relative measurement.
Yeah. What did you think of the Worldwide Developers Conference?
I'm excited.
What's your favorite thing from it?
The iPhone, because I'm finally getting an iPhone.
So this is it. This is the iPhone 3. What's it called?
3GS.
3GS is going to be
It's finally doing the things I've wanted since the original iPhone. So I'm going to finally break down and get one.
Now, let me ask you a question because I didn't watch the keynote, but a lot of the things that I was excited about, like MMS and cut, copy, paste, all of that, is that going to be available via software download for current 3G iPhones?
Yes, it's bundled in the 3.0 operating system.
So the thing that you're going to get is better hardware and a video camera, right?
Essentially.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
And
I can live with
a compass, a built-in compass.
that.
Compass?
Compass?
Yeah.
I have the
Compass card?
I have the
So you-
Compass free app, so I don't need it.
You can't have a compass on a current Mac or a current iPhone.
You can't? Well, then
No.
what do I have?
How would you have a compass?
I don't know.
I thought you can.
I thought I had.
On a current one?
Yeah.
How would that possibly work?
We got GPS in it, doesn't it?
Oh, no, it just selects a point and then bases it on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think it does.
Maybe it's just like a fake compass or whatever.
Maybe it is.
You're always going north.
We didn't say it had to work.
The direction you face is north.
But there is some stuff I'm concerned about, like on a more geeky level. It doesn't seem like they mentioned ZFS file system support in Snow Leopard server, which I'm a little upset about. I hope it hasn't been cut.
I don't know what
I just
that
have
means.
no idea what you just said. Yeah.
ZFS file support in Snow Leopard server.
Yes,
Okay.
How exciting is Snow Leopard, by the way?
it's pretty exciting.
Are they going to add on the iPhone? Are they going to add in the Nike Plus functionality into the iPhone?
I think that's only in the 3GS. I don't know if that is backwards compatible with older hardware.
Because it's on the iPod Touch.
Right.
It's integrated in there.
Let's
chip.
be honest, though.
Is that a program?
No one in this office is going to use that.
I use the
Bernie
Nike Plus.
uses it.
I use Nike Plus.
Do you?
He got an
I
iPod
do.
Touch just for that.
I did. Well, not just for that.
When
but
was the
yeah.
last time you used it?
Just for that.
2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
staying corrected.
I have my.
You're a picture of health.
I have my whole.
Sir.
Yeah, thank you. I used it to see how far I walked to the fridge. Yeah, I had that horrible thing where I threw my back out, which is like an old dude thing
Yeah.
to have happen. I threw my back out. It's like I've never had any back problems. I'm like, the hell is this? So it kind of put a quash on my ability to use my Nike Plus. It comes and goes. It's like my WoW playing. I do it in secret and don't tell anybody. But they did put a vitality sensor on the iPhone. What is that? A vitality meter?
I think that.
Are you talking about the Wii?
No, I'm talking
You're
about
talking
the
about the
did they do
DS?
something? We made the jokes about Steve Jobs'
Oh
vitality.
no,
thing?
that's an app that someone developed so that doctors can remotely monitor patient health and they can
Right.
see stuff like
Just
heart
Steve
rate,
Jobs' health.
respiration.
We were
It goes
talking
off
about
the
most
stop
expensive
loss
apps.
tells Apple stock as soon as he.
Yeah, we were saying
I'm on
like
my own joke over here.
We were saying like I said in the demo. I said I was an idea for one of the comics I threw out. They were like, we can't do that. I said, for the demo of this like medical application,
Right.
they should held up. Like for instance, he's not here today, but here's Steve Jobs, and it's like, dude, it's like, oh shit, we gotta cancel the conference.
The stage just catches fire. Everyone starts running around.
That app would sell a lot if they had one that just monitored just his health.
Hell yeah, it would. It definitely would.
Especially if it had a defibrillate button.
You could monitor the Apple stock side by side with the heartbeat
Exactly.
rhythm.
Isn't it nice that we can sit here and joke about somebody's poor health? How is he really? Is he not doing well?
No, he's coming back. Supposedly in like 2 weeks
Really?
Really? That's
coming
great.
back to
to Apple.
the office. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if he shows up at the
If he comes here, we're fucked. No.
see, if he shows up at the conference 2 weeks late, that might not be a good sign. He's confused and delirious.
No. Word on the street is that he'll be back full time at CEO in about 2 weeks.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's fantastic news.
He's a CEO not only of Apple, but basically the biggest shareholder and the guy who runs Disney and Pixar, by the way.
Yep.
God, Disney
They don't
and
ever seem to
Pixar.
bring that up when they talk about Steve Jobs. That like, here's Up that just came out. He has the #1 movie in the nation, and he's also got everyone's attention with his iPhone and MacBook updates. It's pretty crazy.
He's got a lot going on.
He got a lot going on, man.
Up almost came in #1 at the box office for the second week in a row. It got narrowly beat out by The Hangover.
It was one of those things too,
Oh, no,
where
wait.
they revised. They revised the box office after the fact.
Yeah, they said Up was projected to win the weekend, but then when the final tally was done, The Hangover narrowly
How did
came
that
in #1.
happen?
I have no clue.
People want to see Mike Tyson in a movie. People
yeah,
want
I
to see Mike
guess
Tyson
so.
being
Yeah,
crazy in a
there's
movie.
nothing- with Mike
can't-
Tyson.
And Will Ferrell came in a distant third, right?
Yeah.
I thought that Land of the Lost movie would have been pretty big.
You have to wonder if that's over now. Like it's the Adam Sandler.
Well,
phase.
the half-life of the male comedian in America is pretty short now.
I don't know
like,
that- I don't know
thought
that-
Steve Carell had already placed Will Ferrell as that guy, and now, not really, right? I mean,
Do you think Adam Sandler's over though? I mean, this movie still make $100 million.
Really? How much did Zohan make?
Zohan, I made $100 million.
Really?
You got a computer right there? Look it up.
No, I'm recording stuff.
And what's worse is his bedtime stories. I think broke $100 million. Yeah, and that looked atrocious.
Well, that's a kids movie. You put out a fucking kids movie, you make a
Not-
$1 billion.
not necessarily.
at the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it had Kerry Russell in it.
nice.
So here's one ticket right here. But I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to say because Will Ferrell movies go up and down. I mean, Semi-Pro made under $30 million.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Made like
Yeah, it was,
25
it was
million?
pretty low.
Total. And then he came back with right after that. He came out with Step Brothers, and that made $100 million.
Wow, Step Brothers made $100 million?
I just
Yeah.
watched it the other day.
Now, granted,
It's
Step
all right.
Brothers. How much would you guess Step Brothers cost to make?
It looks like it cost about $5 million to make.
No, I would guess that I would say $60 million.
This is according to BoxOfficeMojo.com. $65 million to make Step
Wow,
Brothers.
less than $5 million.
Who the fuck are they?
Is it all salary?
A lot of it has to be.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm sure Will Ferrell gets a good $15 million, and then
Mary Steenburgen. Just
Mary
like,
Steenburgen, she's a cash cow.
She brings the wood.
Philip Seymour Hoffman doesn't. No, wait.
Speaking of salaries, who was in The Hangover? Was there anybody of note in that movie?
Okay, here's a fun game. The 3 lead actors in The Hangover. How many of them do you think you can name? I can name 2 of them. I can name 2 of them.
I got one.
Is one of them Zach Galifianakis?
One of them is Zach Galifianakis.
I can name 2 then.
Okay, who's the other one?
Bradley Cooper.
I
Bradley
couldn't name
Cooper,
him.
yeah.
He's the one I couldn't name, and he was on Alias.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can
He
name
was
him.
he was the Bradley Cooper was the dickhead in Wedding Crashers,
Yes,
right?
he was.
Yeah, okay, that's how I know him.
And there's Ed Helms, who's the dude from The Office.
I thought he was a pretty funny guy.
So you wonder, will they be like a comedy team at this point? You know, will they be like the Apatow guys, like Seth Rogen and what's the dude?
Paul Rudd, Danny McBride,
Yeah.
like all those guys. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe if the movie opened bigger, I could speculate more on that. But it wasn't that huge of an opening.
Haven't seen it, so I can't say who's.
What
the
was it? Was
standout.
like $40 million, right?
43 million.
43 million for that film. It probably cost what 10, 15?
Unless they use Step Brothers accounting.
It's particularly, I think, amazing to us because we had seen some stuff with Zach Galifianakis and thought he was really funny. We had seen him on like
Kimmel.
Kimmel show.
He's funny as hell on Kimmel. Yeah,
Yeah, and we had seen some stuff with him, and he seemed like this kind of like Andy Kaufman-esque type comedian who was like kind of playing a character, but like really funny and odd. And somebody posted a picture when I had that big scruffy beard that I was growing out. They posted a picture showing how I looked like Zach Galifianakis with a big beard. And then we had this really kind of funny, stupid idea to make a biopic.
Do you want to talk about this?
Well, we're not going to do it now. Why would we do it now?
He's a big star now, right?
Yeah, we were going to do a biopic about Zach Galifianakis, but that didn't have Zach Galifianakis in it, and not tell anybody, and just make this like funny biopic about a guy literally that we didn't think anybody knew, and now he's in the #1 movie overnight.
Yeah,
you know, at $45 million.
We were like, it was an idea to see, like, you would play Zach, and then we would do this completely unauthorized biopic without talking to him at all, and try to get it in Sundance and around the films, and see if he would protest it or be for it. Because
we thought he was the kind of guy who would get it. You know what I mean, that it's like a funny joke that normally you do unauthorized biopics about like Bill Gates or about the president of the United States. You don't do them about a club comedian that very few people even know who he is.
Yeah.
And now he's a household name just about.
Guy that does piano comedy.
if anyone can pronounce it. But actually, it turns out I heard an interview with the guy, and it's a very good thing that we were too lazy to do that idea, because he was kind of oddly protective. He claimed that Joaquin Phoenix stole his look and his mannerisms as his joke of being a rapper with the big beard.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He legitimately sounded upset about it.
I could kind of see that.
You could?
With the beard thing, he kind of had the same crazy eyes and stuff. Sure.
So he's mimicking Zach Galifianakis?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's definitely a similarity.
He was claiming that he basically stole it from him.
I don't know that he stole his persona.
He was saying he was going to go on Letterman and steal back what Joaquin stole from him.
Maybe that's a joke.
Well, was he going to take a picture of him and steal his soul?
I don't know.
I mean, the dude has created 2 personas, him and his brother, and they're twins, and that's very funny.
I mean, I gotta
he
say,
might just be super in on that joke too. You don't know.
I mean, if there's an idea to give a shit about, that's got to be the one, right? To have arguments and even who cares?
Yeah, right. I guess so. It was just a funny idea we had.
You stole my idea of wearing shoes.
Look at the way you're standing up to do your stand-up comedy.
Wasn't there that Jewish rapper who had a beard? Wasn't he before both of these guys?
What's that guy's name?
Modest Yahoo.
What?
Thank you.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
He played Stubbs one time.
He's the guy that did that like comes out for boxers, right? Sometimes does boxing rap.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Well, if you want to see any Zach Galifianakis stuff, now that you've seen Hangover and probably love it, he's all over Netflix streaming as well.
Yeah, he is.
We're assuming you have a 360 if you listen to this podcast.
You better.
And like, you can look up Zach Galifianakis stuff, and then also like Comedians of Comedy. He's on there as well. So we'll put links to it.
Yeah, I'll link up a few things.
Speaking of which, we're starting a movie club on the site. I'm just doing it for the hell of it.
Movie club.
Since we figured out that everyone, this is kind of like a free resource. A lot of people have Netflix. A lot of people have the 360. We're going to pick a movie every week, watch it, and then discuss it. And whoever's comment on the movie gets the most plus mods for that week. They pick the next movie.
You know, that's interesting. Griffin and I kind of did that for a while in our journals, where we would like back when I had cable, whatever the bad Sci-Fi Channel movie on Sunday nights was, we would have like a live posting and we'd all blog about it. And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, you mean watch it at the same time?
Like watch it at the same time. This sounds different a little bit, but yeah, that's
like
it's a blast. Well,
it's a great idea.
With the new 360 update, you guys can have parties and like up to 8 people at once. Is it 8?
Yeah, I think it's
It's
8.
8 can watch a movie together.
And if not, you could do maybe like everyone hit play at the same time and watch it on Rooster Teeth Live and chat about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, this is one of those things where I'm hoping that the someone a member of the group will then take it over and like run with it, kind of like Griff Ball and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
Just don't have enough time to run it myself, but I would like to participate in something like that.
That's a cool idea. I sign me up. Is
All
it
right.
is it a group on the site right
yeah.
now? Okay.
You
Cool.
can find it in my profile. I have the group in there.
Is there a movie picked out for the?
No. I think Count 3D. Dominic is going to help us a lot at the get-go.
So you should pick the first movie.
It's weird. We're kind of somebody else pointed out they already had that group on the site, and they made me an admin, and it was Bob Lob Blob.
Oh,
Bob-
yeah.
that guy.
Bob
Yeah.
Lablaw.
Bob
Blah,
Blob
blah,
Blob.
blah.
Yeah. He said we already have it. We'll make an admin. He said he didn't have the time to run it, but he hoped we would kind of just take the ball and go.
Speaking of Griff Ball, did we talk about the Griff Ball action figures last week? We did, right?
I don't think we had them.
No,
Oh.
I posted some pictures in my journal, but I don't think we've talked about it yet.
You ever have those at Comic-Con?
Yeah, they're going to be. I think Toys R Us is selling them at Comic Con exclusively. I think they have like
They
6,000
made 6,000 of them.
Griff Ball action figures. I'd like to point out that I am the only member of Rooster Teeth who has an action figure. You guys can suck it.
Yeah, congratulations. Because I know you had a lot to do with making Griff Ball.
I was there. I was standing there next to you and Gavel. You guys made it.
So
I said, "Looks good."
So if anyone wants,
Gav, man, what are you talking about?
He was around, right?
He was in England.
You guys were making it together. I remember. Yeah.
Is that the way it happened?
I watched you guys on this. You on the sofa sitting there talking with Gav while you guys made it.
Since I love asking trivia questions, what was the original name of Griff Ball?
Smushball.
I don't know.
Smash Ball.
Halo Rugby.
Halo Rugby.
That's right.
Makes sense.
And it was actually a member of the site. I think it was actually Gav that pointed out calling it Griff Ball. I mean,
So Gav,
I'm meaning on the podcast.
So you're saying Gav made Griff Ball? That's what you just admitted.
Well, I wrote the goddamn line. the Griff Ball.
No.
line.
It's all credit goes to Bernie, of course.
If
But,
anybody wants one of those figures, you have to go to Comic-Con. You can buy one there from Toys R Us, and I think they might have a limited number on their website, like when Comic-Con is actually running. They might have a limited number on the Toys R Us website.
I know.
Comic-Con's running.
Here's what Gavin contributed. I just remembered. What Gavin contributed was to force the color of the runner to be orange because it was called Griff Ball. So why not make the guy orange? I thought that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. But the whole roundabout way I was getting to that is that
that's it.
since Toys R Us is going to be selling them at Comic-Con, and I don't think our booth will have them, we're making a Griff Ball polo. We decided today. So
I
if
invented
anybody-
Toys R Us.
It's true. Jeffrey the Giraffe is named after me. We spell our name the same way.
Maybe he can claim an action figure too.
But anyway, so the plan is to have Griff Ball, like limited edition Griff Ball polos at Comic-Con this year.
But the real reason we started talking about the Griff Ball polos is because today we got in the Rooster Teeth polos.
That's true.
Which
Yeah.
go up in our store right now, which are a black polo with the Rooster Teeth logo.
For our more dignified
Yes.
viewer.
For our casual Friday listeners.
I made a fancy little thing about it in the store, so
No, did you?
you could see. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'll be sure to link it.
it's the shirt that I basically wear all the time.
Yes, it's like you in the comic.
Yeah, I did a thing recently.
And the ones we sell don't come with the same smell as the one you're.
I'll pre-smell them.
Stick lines are optional.
French fries.
So is there anything anybody else wants to talk about before we wrap up today?
Oh, I have a request real fast. We're doing the next Pajama Achievements Thursday night, and we're going to do 3 games. We're going to do UFC Prototype, and the third game we don't know. So if anybody has a suggestion for a good arcade game that's relatively new that would work for the girls, I would love to hear it. You can just message us or personal comment us on the site because I'm kind of at a loss as what to pick for the third game.
You also do Flock.
No, fuck Flock, dude. I'm not. No
Should
way.
do Flock.
I'm not. No.
Should do
No.
Speaking of ideas, yeah, I would love to see Flock because they'd think it was cute at first, and then they would go
And
crazy.
then you'd see the rage come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from? Pajama Achievements.
I don't know. Griffin, maybe. I really don't. I have no memory of how it started. I know it started sometime in December, but I don't know why or how.
Why don't you explain what it is for people who don't go to Achievement
How
Hunter?
dare they? It's the site. It's the series that my wife runs, where she gets a lot of girls who are really cool to wear pajamas and play video games, and like get drunk. And they're not gamers, so it's fun to watch their unique view on video games.
That is the most sedately that anyone has ever talked about drunk girls in pajamas.
I used to have that dream every night of my life about 16 years ago.
And I film it. And I go, have another drink. You'll enjoy the game better. That's awesome.
Isn't it always a dream to have the girl who plays video games, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
it?
pretty much.
I married a woman who plays golf. She married the one dude on the planet who does not play golf.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just found out recently that your wife plays golf.
Yeah, she does. She's a great golfer. And she goes out and golfs, and of course, she gets matched up in threesomes, or Yeah, I just
Interesting.
realized there's two meanings to that word now too. She was in a threesome with a couple of dudes, and they always want to know like, where's the husband? You know, like where's your husband in all this? And they assume she's single because he's like, oh, he doesn't play golf. And they say, your husband doesn't play golf, like I'm walking around with a purse. You know what I mean? That's their impression. But I just can't stand the fact that golf takes as long as it does. After anything that takes 5 hours, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just wandering around. I mean, I'd rather go just sit on a bench, enjoy the outdoors than like.
I'd rather be
probably
raiding Olduar than fucking
pretty-
spending 5 hours outside.
All right,
I got nothing.
Last call. Anything else you want to talk about?
just watch Red vs. Blue Recreation this summer.
Recreation.
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 9 p.m. Central Mondays.
9 p.m. Central on the dot.
GMT -6. Don't fucking email me and ask me what time that is
Oh,
wherever you
and
live.
the other day we bought Mount Gay rum as a joke at the liquor store on the way back from lunch, and it's fantastic.
Delicious.
Big ups to the Mount Gay people. We're drinking it right now.
Did you guys ever determine where Mount Gay is located?
It's in Jamaica, I think, right? Somewhere like that. I don't know.
Yes.
You literally bought the rum because it said Mount Gay on it.
Yes.
How fucking old are you? Did you really do that?
I'm 12.
We
Come
were
on,
giggling the whole time.
We're still laughing about it. Mount Gay. That's awesome.
What's wrong with you?
It's like an entire
You have
mountain
to
of gay.
ask. How long have you known us?
I know, but what is that?
It's rum.
Have you had the rum?
I mean, you're going to drink this stuff. Why not just go with what you know or what you like?
It's
You
gay
know?
This is how you branch out.
Yeah.
You got to try new things. Aren't you ever curious?
You get
Aren't you curious about the gay?
you get swayed by a label and you find something new.
Yeah, a lot of thought goes into naming it, right? Like they must say we're going to name this for the novelty
It
aspect.
had to have been named a long time ago.
There's a bunch
probably a
of like
12-year-old who named
sophomoric idiots that are going to buy it because of the word gay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
That's how
well,
it starts.
it
Mission
worked.
accomplished.
No, it's got to be.
I'm a huge convert.
That's why I don't understand Microsoft, why they named that controller. They named it the Natal. It just seems like, why would you name anything that possibly has even a glimmer that it could turn into a pun of any kind that could be used against you? I mean, why would you do that? It's like, how do you like your new controller? How does it work? Not all. I get it. And it's like Sony came out and this is our new cock and balls.
Well, the Japanese have been doing it since the beginning of time, though, right? It's almost like
In Microsoft's defense, I don't think Natal's the final
That's just
name for that.
Where do you think they came up with that? There's got to be some
It's the
sort
name
of.
It's the name of a city in Brazil. Microsoft always names their projects after cities.
Oh, is that what
okay.
it is? Name of the
Thank
city
you.
in Brazil. Okay.
I knew you'd know.
I have wondered what the final product will be named. It'll be the Microsoft sucks a dick.
Okay, on that note, we're out of here.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Ta ta.